Next slide, please.
Next slide. Okay.
So my core area of market right now is Oakley, and as you can see, Oakley, the average home sales are 674,000, and there's been some changes in the market in the Oakley area. Last month, compared to last month, and for the month of August and July and August, there's about 2.65% less in terms of the sales price. So you can see that there is some slowing down in Oakley area compared to the other cities, and I'll show that to you later on. In terms of this list price, prices are at 685. There is a little bit of slight increase. However, it is not much. As you can see, the sales price have kind of dropped down a little bit in the Oakley area. Next slide, please. So the next close city for Oakley is actually Antioch, and Antioch median A sales price about $630,000. Within the last month, there's been a 5% increase of the sales price, and the list price median is 600,000, and there's also been increase of 2.5%. So as you can see, these two cities are actually just neighbors, and there's been some changes. So for some reason, the market in Antioch has actually gone up. I'm assuming because there's more homes available at the same time, but the prices have increased. Um, Next slide, please.
Okay.
Another very popular new city in the Contra Costa is Brentwood. A lot of new communities has been growing in this area, and the sales median price is 777K. And between July and August, there's about 5.24% decrease in terms of the sale price. Again, there is like this high trend of up and down in the Contra Costa County, and Brentwood is becoming a little bit more affordable in this area. Average list price is about 800,000, and there's only 0.13 price increase. So there is opportunity in Brentwood area in terms of new homes and also older homes. The school district in Brentwood is actually really good, and it's another good place for new families and first-time home buyers to purchase a home. Next slide, please.
What can we expect about the school district in Brentwood?
In Brentwood area, they're looking around 7. They're rated 7, 8 in Brentwood. So it's still pretty good compared to Antioch and Pittsburgh. They're around 5, between 4 and 5, depending which area. There are some good and bad areas in Pittsburgh and Antioch, so it's uh, they're scattered. But Brentwood has been really good in terms of your school district. Yes, so Pittsburgh is another city, and this is the sales price is about median sales price is about 615K, and there's been an increase of 3.36, within the last month, and then the list price is 599, and there's changes about 4%. So Pittsburgh, it's it's a nice area. It's about 10 miles away from Oakley and Brentwood. It's about 10 to 15 miles. However, it's closer to the BART station as well. So a lot of people have the convenience of the BART. It's very, very close. It's very commuter friendly, accessible for all of the families or workers who works in the city in San Francisco or Alameda or Oakland. So there's going to be a lot of changes in Pittsburgh at this time.
Well, Pittsburgh is closer to the bus station than either Brentwood or Antioch. Isn't that true?
Yes, that is correct. It's so saturated now in Pittsburgh. Like the new homes are actually going closer to about 900 to $1 million. These San Marco homes in Pittsburgh, gorgeous homes, but they're really going up. Pittsburgh and Brentwood has sort of a similar comparables in terms of the price in the homes. Brentwood is actually in the higher end because of its school district, but as you can see in my other slide, it's actually slowing down a little bit. So this is really a good opportunity for first-time home buyers.
Yeah, the prices are higher too in Brentwood than Antioch
Yes,
and Pittsburg, right?
yes, that is correct.
And that's probably due to the better school district.
Yes, it's really good district, and they're also building more homes in that area. But the school district makes a lot of difference.
We got a question from the audience. Okay, now the question is, you know, in this market, is it advisable to buy home in cash since the interest rate is so low? Well, why should a cash buyer still want to buy cash as opposed to getting a loan?
I would suggest just getting a loan for their. I wouldn't recommend putting in an all cash offer unless if you are in an area like Fremont or Pleasanton or the Tri Valley area, which is a hot market. The reason being is because the interest rate is so low right now. So for investors or families, they can maximize their money and they have liquid funds to use for other purchases. So at this market, I would suggest if you can, not a cash, don't go all cash for it. The interest rate is so low right now, but it is a competitive market. And if you want to buy the house, then go for it all cash offer.
Well, I guess the question is, how much of a competitive advantage you will have by going all cash when all the buyers, many buyers that have loans are putting in non-contingent offers. So what's the difference between non-contingent offer and cash offer then?
Um, it's just a faster transaction, actually, because I do know that all cash offer or purchase, you can close in between 5 to 7 days. Compared to even though you have 7 day, I mean, even though you have non-contingent offer, you still have to kind of wait until like 21 days. The lender still needs to do their appraisal, even though you're paying the difference if it's appraised below market. So the time frame is actually shorter with our cash offer. It just really depends if the seller is ready to move on and sell this property at the right price. It depends on the seller's uh, intentions or needs.
See, if you're a seller, if you can get more money from a buyer who needs financing to make the purchase versus a little less money from an all cash buyer, and you only need to spend an extra 3 weeks in escrow, why wouldn't you go for more money?
Yeah, so I do have some offers who are actually cash offer for an existing property that I have, a listing that I have, but my seller is willing to wait. He rather have that extra cash rather than closing early. Like I said, it just really depends on your seller and what are his needs or intention. So
Yeah, I have a transaction before that the seller has bought another property and they're waiting on this one to be closed on time to close the escrow of the purchase. So in that situation, I think if there's a cash offer, not too much difference, then the seller might go with the cash offer with a safer situation, yeah, to make sure it closes on time.